showcase our ability on open field, making guys miss, having yards after catch. When you showed up Saturday and having that many guys with, what you say, 7 over 16 plus. I mean, that's explosive for us. 16 plus is explosive. So having that is, I mean, it shows how good our offense can be.
Kearis, what is the biggest improvements you've seen from both Ladd and AD, and how are you seeing those guys kind of feed off each other and practice? And obviously what we saw in the game like that.
Right, they starting to build their confidence up. I mean, been in this offense more than 1 year now, having the experience from last year, translating over to this year, having the whole fall count, having Stetson as our designated QB, a whole fall count, really just gave us confidence as a receiver group. And those two guys, they was able to showcase their abilities, especially the way they played.
Kind of put that perspective from your own experience. When you were a true freshman, you moved on to be a sophomore. I mean, just kind of describe and explain how that confidence grew.
Yeah, that confidence, it builds game by game, You get that opportunity to go out there and play, it's like, shoot, I'm trying to go ball, and this often you never know when that opportunity is going to come. So when it does come, you just want to be able to showcase it and be able to put it on tape.
How much has, this offense in terms of airing it out? We saw it on Saturday, and afterwards Kirby was using it as a recruiting pitch to wide receivers. How different is that?
Yeah, it's pretty different, especially as far as like statistics wise. I don't think we ran the ball that much. I'm not sure, I haven't looked, but I know we threw the ball a lot, and when we did throw the ball, we was able to sneak catches, and that's what it's all about, putting the ball out on the perimeter to make guys, that'll make plays and things like that. So when you're able to do that, it's always fun. And us, from a recruit standpoint, everybody always say George likes to run the ball a lot. We was able to showcase that we can throw the ball around. And playing versus a good team like Oregon, hats off to them. They flew all the way across the country and gave us a good run for our money. And we was excited to do that and excited for the experience as well.
Is that who y'all are now? Are y'all more inherited?
We're still trying to find our identity. It was just the first game, and a lot of people trying to dictate, Georgia's going to be better than last night. It's just one game, and we just got to be able to be consistent. And if we keep being consistent, then maybe it's going to be all right.
All that being said, what did surprise you and the rest of your teammates the most about that game the other day? What surprised you the most?
We was able to score 7 possessions in a row. We were going into the game. We knew it was going to be a tough game, but at certain points we was busting up on coverages. If you not coverages, but from an offense standpoint, if you actually go back and watch film, we were just busting all over the field, but some way we were still able to score touchdowns. But we still got to play better football all around, because when we get to playing teams in the SEC, it's not going to be as how it is when we played this Saturday.
Kearis, Kirby was saying that the new coaches on staff have bought into the way y'all do things and everything. I was wondering how you've seen that from Coach McClendon since he got here and took over the job.
Right, if you just actually watch receivers when we don't get the ball, just the transition and stuff, transition downfield, that's how you create explosive plays, being able to block downfield, even when you don't got the ball in hand, just making yourself feel special. I know the video is all on Twitter with Ladd and AD, and you see AD up at the top of the screen blocking his tail off. Those things there is what really makes you a great receiver, And when you can do that at a high level, that's what separates you from being a guy who have 10 catches, 100 yards in one game. But if you look what they do without getting the ball, does that really make them a good receiver, So he just preaches the fact that what can you do without the ball in your hand, because whatever you do without the ball in your hand, when you do get the opportunity, they're going to make sure they feed you.
How has he changed the receiver room over the 6 or 7 months he's been on the job?
I guess about a mentality, like I was saying, about the transition and stuff, not taking plays off, every opportunity to get, making sure you just take full advantage of it, because he be ready to loaf you quick. If you don't finish with nobody, with your hands on anybody out there play, that's a loaf. So we just try to preach, just keep playing fast and give it all you got.
You return kicks, Ladd, a rushing touchdown. How much is having that sort of versatility where you guys can do so many different things in that wide receiver room sort of helping what you guys can do offensively in terms of putting up points on the board?
Right, it should be fun, I'm sure it was fun for y'all to watch, just seeing different guys make plays and stuff. And when you get that opportunity to go make plays, it's always fun. And with Ladd, I told you, Ladd balled out, but you got to give thanks to the O-line as well. I feel like those guys are really overlooked, but once you get those guys, you got to praise them as well, because without them, without the center being able to snap the ball to step, without the O-line, pass protecting, run blocking, I mean, none of us would be successful on the perimeter or in the backfield. So I feel like I just want to give a shout out to the O-line.
How do you think you played on Saturday?
So I played pretty good. I feel like I was explosive. I mean, when I didn't get the ball, just trying to block, make sure my hands on somebody. When I did have the catch, I think I had like 3 targets. Make sure I at least catch every ball that comes my way. And for the most part, I feel like I played pretty well, but it's still room for improvement.
Kearis, that was a scout team a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Sorry?
2 years ago, was Little Lad was a scout team guy?
Yes, Lad was a scout team guy his first year in.
Yeah,
He was
what do
already
you make of how he's gone from that to what he's doing now?
Right, I mean, it's no surprise. I mean, once you do it in practice, you 9 out of 10 gonna do it in the game. So he been doing it ever since he's been on scout team. Even when Steph started on scout team, like I started on scout team. I mean, it's just the fact that the scout team here, like we take it so serious, and most programs may don't look at scout team how we look at it. We look at it as though it's an opportunity for you to get better, and you helping the team that we pretty ready to play give us a great look. So we take the scout team very serious, and guys who been on scout team have a great chance of playing someday as well.
Going back 2 years ago when Ladd was on the scout team, what do you remember about him and what, how that has helped him get where he is now?
Right. Making guys miss. I mean, you can see it Saturday how he was able to just be so elusive, make guys miss. I mean, he does it in practice every day too. He's hard to tackle, very shifty, and the things that he does in practice translates over to the game.
We saw Javon Bullard at the start. What's it been like going up against Javon Bullard in practice?
Man, that joker, that love to hit. I approach it. Being from Baldwin, we always say 478 legend. So with him being from that area, I mean, it's all tough football, and he brings it every day because, I mean, of course, he's a nickel and I'm a slot, so we see each other pretty much the whole practice. So it's always cramming between us two, but also we're making each other better at the same time.
Who wins those battles?
I mean, it's football. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but it's always 50-50 chance.
How much of what we saw on Saturday with Malachi is what you guys have been seeing and going back and forth?
Right. I mean, I think it was the first scrimmage or maybe a couple practices before one of the scrimmages. He had made a pick in practice, and I was like, oh yeah, he don't have an opportunity to play because he was the only one being able to make plays in the secondary. I mean, we got guys in the secondary who was making plays as well, but he really stood out because he was being able to guard some of our best players on offense. And when I seen him doing that, I was like, they got to find him a spot to roll on the defense. And I think he was in our 9 coverage, and that pick he made, I was like, oh yeah, he's legit.
When you're an older player and you see a guy like Malachi or Dalen Everett, whoever those guys are, come in, when is the indicator as a player when you know, hey, this guy's going to get a chance to see the field? When do you know?
Speaking of that, I mean, I done seen about 4 or 5 recruiting classes at this point. So when you see guys coming in and guys like Malachi come in as a true freshman making plays like that, and it all starts in fall camp. Fall camp is pretty much the turning point of who can help us out with the team this year. And guys like Malachi, he was able to come in and learn what he's supposed to do and be able to earn a starting role in the personnel that we have on defense. And for him being able to do that, it's just going to increase his stock in a certain way that he could be able to play multiple positions on the field, which I think he was able to do that this Saturday.
For a guy like Malachi who was here in the spring, what's different about fall camp that makes it, like you said, that turning point?
It's a little bit more slowed down. I forgot he did early enroll, but that's an experience being here on spring and then fall camp as well. Really just gives you the opportunity to learn the game and how the way we do it at Georgia. I mean, everybody has their own standard, but we have a standard here. He was able to pick up on that standard pretty quick.
Did you have an indication that Georgia's defense, with your team's defense, was going to be able to play like they did on Saturday?
Well, I mean, shoot, it starts with recruiting. I mean, we recruit some of the best kids in the country, and once we go against the best defense, we say it every day, our defense is one of the best defenses in the country. And me being an offensive guy, I mean, we going against those guys every day. And I feel like we're a great offense. They get to go against us every day. So it's always competition between the offense and defense, especially in practice. I know y'all guys be able to see it, but just those moments where I think it was like the second scrimmage, like they was putting it on us. offense. First scrimmage, we was able to show guys, okay, this is our little bit of our identity. But that second one, they showed them who they capable of doing. So the more practice, the more reps, the more confidence both sides of the ball get.
Kearis, do you guys get yards after the catch stats, like after scrimmages? Did you know that this offense would allow guys in space to be able to make big gainers?
Right. I feel like we was able to see that on the field, just not even have to look at the script. I mean, when you know we have guys who can make guys miss, I mean, it's hard to stop you pretty much because you can that was one thing I wanted to do. I know from my past few seasons, I used to just get the ball and fall on the ground. Like I need to be able to catch it and get yards, So when you're able to do that, I mean, it just makes your offense more explosive. And we was able to do that in all fall camp and spring as well.
Kearis, you're really close to taking one back, kind of close last couple of years. How badly do you want it?
I want it bad, and when I get it, y'all gonna realize how bad I want it. So that's my not one of my main goals, but I have to go score one. It's just mandatory. I've been so close every time, but when I do score, I know it's gonna be special.
We saw Carson get some reps in that game on Saturday. What did you make of his performance, and how valuable do you think him being able to come in a situation like that, especially in an atmosphere like that, can be?
Right. I feel like Carson's ready. Whenever I told him the whole time because as a quarterback, you have those frustrating moments. You feel like, man, I need a shot. I just want to show what I can do, and he got his shot on Saturday, and he showed coach what he could do. I think he threw a touchdown pass. He hit me a couple times across the middle. He played with poise. He was confident in what he was doing and all the decisions that he made. So speaking on that, I feel like all our quarterbacks are ready, and Carson is our number 2. So if something was to ever go wrong with Stetson, I think Carson would be ready to go.
What'd you make of Kenny McIntosh's his catches?
Oh yeah, Kenny went crazy. I mean, it's no surprise he did it all camp. Kenny, I think he's probably the best back in college football. Just the way he runs the ball, catches it, just so explosive with the ball, and it's hard to stop that when you got guys all over the field that can make plays.
What did it mean to have guys like Cole there on the sideline, and just so many former Dogs? Did you guys visit with them? Did they talk to the team?
Yeah, we did, but we didn't want to make it a distraction for the most part. I mean, I was able to talk to him after the game, but like during the game, it was more so we locked in, we'll see you speak, but we didn't try to let them affect us how the way we played just because they was there. We was going to go out